All right, I am here with the official team leaders of both RIP Originals and Orgless, shortly before the best of 3 final. I'm going to start with the UKers for Team Orgless. You guys have been sitting out since you won per bracket. You've been sitting in the finals, waiting and presumably watching all of the games so far. Has anything stood out to you? Have you even been watching the games?
I personally went to take a shower and got dinner. We've been waiting for about 3 hours now, so I did watch a couple of the games through, but I don't think anything really stood out to me
You
to
didn't get a
watch out
chance.
for.
You didn't get a chance to scout Pylon and RIP Originals then?
Oh, we did. We did scout, and we've been talking about it in Discord, but we can't give away our game plan. So
Pylon, does that scare you? Do you wish maybe you'd had that moment to reset? Because I imagine it's getting on a while now. We've been here casting all night. You guys have been here playing. You got to be getting kind of worn down, right?
I mean, 2 of our players have been up for 30 hours straight. One of our players is hella drunk. We have 0 strats. We're not prepared for anything. So even if they studied us, it changes every single round. Every round is something new. We're literally a pug that formed 1 hour before the tournament started.
How do you feel about getting all the way to the grand finals then? You guys are now guaranteed, I believe, at least $200. Is that right?
I think it's 175 or 200. I mean, we're pretty happy, dude. US money is really good in Canadian money, so we're gonna get a good exchange rate, you know?
My co-caster actually got an American visa to work in esports here, so he can 100% back you on that. So you guys did make it all the way to the final. You guys have been playing the whole time. You're presumably warmed up. But a couple of these last few games have been slugfests. Do you feel like
Oh,
you're...
we
Do you feel...
actually got a 2-hour break too before we just played. We had to wait for 3 matches to get played, so we didn't play all the way through.
Do you
See, they
feel...
got a 3-hour break. We got a 2-hour.
Do you feel warmed up then? Do you think you have a slight advantage off of that?
This game got us a little bit back into the groove of things, but it was pretty hard to stay awake. And yeah,
So
we're getting warmed up. We're warmed up.
we have Team Pure Chaos versus Team We've been sitting, studying, and showering over at Orgless. I'm going to ask you, Caters, if you're not worried at all about Pylon, you don't want to reveal the strats that you've got to prep for RIP Originals, does that mean that you're completely confident this is going to be an easy win?
Oh yeah, baby. I've never been not confident in my life.
Give me a series prediction, but I'm going to ask both of you to say it at the same time, okay? Simultaneously. So both of you say how you think the BO3 series will go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm bringing out the broom.
2-2-0s. I can't wait, because I believe that means we will tie it 2-2. That's the only way the math works out. Best of luck. I can't wait to watch you guys maybe both get a little break, get prepped. Although, Caters, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit. And we've got a lot of money on the line, so good luck.
By the way, thanks for the casting, man. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, your casting's very good.
I strive to be actually pretty good.
That's perfect. Can't wait to watch the bots.
I love it. I love it. Actually pretty good. Look at us go, TJ.
That's my dream plan. I just want somebody in my life to tell me I'm actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm
better than their expectations. And
dude,
I got it here.
Dude, that's I mean, again, both sides are confident. One team is like the pinnacle of, yes, we're taking this seriously. We're Orgless. We're trying to get signed. Competitive Valorant. And the other side is just Quebec. That's just Quebec.
One of our guys is like drunk.
One of our guys, he's drunk. We've been up for 30 hours. It's crazy, man. It's fine. We're just gonna do it.
I don't know how seriously to take that, because I believe the term is sandbagging. I've done various interviews for various tournaments for a while, and normally when a team is like, yeah, one of our guys is drunk, we're having trouble staying awake, they're like exaggerating at least a little bit. But I don't know how seriously to take that here. I don't know whether or not they're actually, maybe a little bit tipsy or smashed. Those are two different sides of the spectrum.
It is indeed. We're going to jump onto a really, really, hopefully, really short break.
I believe Pylon was out to take a cigarette, and I see him in the party right now.
That sounds, again, Quebec! Hey! All right, we'll be back in just a second, guys. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're in the lobby for our final series, not game, series of the night. And what is that, TJ?
I know you can't hear this, but both the teams are beatboxing right now. That is the information I have for you. Please continue with your intro of our grand finals.
I dig it. I dig it. No, man, I'm super stoked. We have, again, we talked about this in the pre-interview, one team that's a little rough around the edges, a little bit of a loose cannon up against sort of the tight, precise machine that is Orgless. So we'll see how this goes.
Mm-hmm. Orgless, of course, sat in the upper bracket all day long, ready to win, ready to, clean this up. They had like a 3-hour break, they said. Rip Originals got to the lower bracket final and then sat there for 2 hours before they could finally get back up here. Now they play in the BO3, $500 on the line and the title of first place in a very competitive double elim tournament. So I can't wait to see how this goes down. One last time, my name's TJ, and it's in Virum with me for the call as we head into a BO3. We'll start this series on Split.
We will indeed. The defenders are going to be Orgless. And I got it right the first try. TJ, I'm so proud of myself. Oh my goodness. And I guess, yeah, we are going to play through all 3 maps, potentially, if it is a BO3. Starting on Split, let's get it out of the way. Let's
You're not
do
a
that.
Split fan?
Is anybody a Split? I mean, here's the thing.
Well, I'm not a fan of playing Split. Don't get me wrong, but I do adore watching it. Because,
I feel like I learn a lot when I watch good players play this map. I just don't know if there are things that I could necessarily replicate in my pugs. If that makes sense.
No, it's sadism watching people play this. So,
Oh.
But I am a tad sadistic. I am a little bit of a sadist. Give me a full A rush threatened right now.
But the bait not
by
fully
Rep
taken. We are seeing Critical pushing in. Critical, the consummate entry fragger here for Orgless. The team is rotating
So
back
if you're
through
trying to
sewers.
set up an A push early in the round, and you don't find anything, you don't find an instant peak, you kind of need to just wait for the utility to fade. Rather than do that, they drift some players over towards mid. So Rip Original will now have control of 2 different parts of the map simultaneously. Very cool.
Yeah, Pylon is getting stunned out here in mid as well, shutting this down. Orgless, yeah, it's just the brick wall. Everywhere they try and play, they're just getting denied. Cypher Soul hold B, no question. This is the standard default here that we're sort of seeing players executing. Putting the Sage in mid, I'm a huge proponent of this. Just has so much ability to shut this down. They're now pushing in through a long up ramp tower. Going to try and take this one out. Oh my goodness, Diffuse gets 2 kills before he himself is taken down, making it a 3v3, rotating down onto the site. The Sage will drop. And Pylon, put her in the grave.
But quick re-entry, Caters is already here. They've got to make this work 2-on-3 with the spike down. Those odds go down. They've got the opener though. Ariel comboing off the bait play there. He's got a second as well for the blind. And Caters cleans it up. A crisp clean lock for the headshot. And there is a retake from behind on our first round to the pistol to open up our grand finals.
That flash was clutch. Ariel had the easiest job in the world just to walk in and clean that one up. What looked like a slow but steady and then well-executed entry from the side of Rip Original just fell apart a little bit there. I mean, Diffuse was able to pick up 2 kills up towards a tower before he was taken down on the rail, and then after that, it's like, well, this should be fine. Wait, what? Did you just put 2 trap lines down? That's jiggy.
Yeah. So the reason you do that is to counter a rush. You put 2 trap lines down if you think somebody's going to rush bait, because you only get the opportunity to throw them down the start round. Then you put a smoke up. As they push in, you want to be able to catch 2 different people inside it, so that you have 2 people tied up, kind of blocking the rest of their team. It's really fun.
It's super cute. And this camera feels so intentional because they left that roof open for the record. Ariel, I love it. Fading Swift so hard. Now the push has nowhere to go. But right up mid, Critical's picking up 2 quick kills as well. Make it a triple. And this is just Orgless going off.
Very clean start. The most important thing on this split map is mid. I'll talk through it now for anyone who's just joining. Never heard my thoughts on split. The center point of the map is the quickest rotate to both sides of any map, even Haven, which has 3 sides. If you're playing B, it takes you a couple seconds to get to either side. If you're playing mid on split, you can get to A or B within 5 to 10 seconds. And that means that if you're trying to attack either of those sides, especially the B side, and you don't have mid control, or at least the power to stop the mid players from rotating, you just insta-lose the site because the rotating players are there to have a defensive numbers advantage as you're entering. So, mid control or A control, those are the 2 ways to make it.
Oh, can we talk about defuse there real quick? Start off with that arrow, and then the double shock into the push. Oh my goodness. I mean, the rest of the team was kind of in shambles at this point, but oh my, that was quite a start. Holy cow.
Ariel finds the reef right now.
Planted the spike.
This leaves Pylon all alone.
1v2 situation. There's a slowing orb. And Jungle's there. Vendel shot, headshot, easy peasy. The slowing orb, which was great for a second, is now... Okay, get to the gun!
How
Gosh
dare
dang
you
it,
slow
Sage!
my progress.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, case in point, I guess. The A site is the more takeable of the sites without mid control, but you could see how quickly the rotate was
This
there.
is a nice spot.
I mean, it's not even exclusively about the mid players. If you don't have any kind of heaven control, if you don't have any kind of A control, you're not going to be able to stop people from just firing down to the site. You might be like, but TJ, how am I supposed to get heaven control when I don't have mid control? And right there is the problem with not taking mid on split.
Sort of one of these basic math equations. Like, well, I could do this, but it'd be very difficult to do this. We're seeing Jungle Main able to get the wall off. A wall he can actually jump off of for some sassy peaks.
I don't like this wall. A couple different teams do this.
Yeah.
The Sage slow around is much better, but there's just no way Jungle Main finds a kill, because if he jumps on that wall to peek, he's peeking on the same line you would if you just shoulder peeked the back angle. So anyone holding mid is already watching
I
that.
found my wire. Caught one.
Now we're seeing the pillar play coming on in. There's the first kill from Ariel, holding on to B as mid's just getting cleaned up with these. Critical's been playing that angle beautifully. Ariel is here as well. These 2 players, despite the fact that they haven't played for 4 hours, 3 hours I should say, it looks like they never skipped a beat.
The main push down through mid, when that happens,
That goes there.
it's happening, or it's getting shut down so effectively because you have Critical rotating in through vents. It's kind of the inverse of what I was laying out earlier. The A players felt completely free to rotate through vents and quick hold in mid from
This
A.
goes here.
And that meant they were just trying to take mailroom, and they did have a way to get close because of that weird Sage wall, but then the wall broke, and their 2 players vent room surprise, ready to engage and just shut down the mid lane.
Off your feet!
And we are seeing the Rolling Thunder trying to dislodge Heaven as much as possible here. Jungle Maim's in a bit of a rough spot, but he is able to get his utility down in time, slowing himself, though, a little bit more than the enemy here, I think. But the cage is there from Cypher to try and back this one up. Kills are going in as well across the site. Swift's looking to try and set this one up. Leafs right on in. Is able to get a pick in A tower, which is going to allow them to rotate on over. Nicely done there from Swifts. He's got to start fragging, TJ.
I know exactly where.
Try and find an entry, and there's Swift doing Swift's thing.
And there it is.
It is just Ariel dead. And that is the round. The first on the board, actually, for Rip Originals. Don't worry too much if you see a ton of rounds here go to the defense, because I think this is an incredibly defense-sided map. Your target here is an attacking team against a competent defense is around 5 to 6 rounds. I believe it was earlier we were on splits and we got 5 rounds, and I was like, that's it, they've done it. So if they get 5 to 6 rounds, then I'm happy. And they have work. They have time to work, is how that sentence was trying to go in my head. Look at Gibby. Gibby's looking for that camera we've seen a couple of rounds. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's looking for it. He can't quite see the angle, though. It's in such a good spot. It actually peeks through skylight
he
here.
Could.
He did.
He walked back up and jumped up on the box so he could look for it.
Gotcha.
It was really fun. Because I was thinking they just had no clue where it was, but Gibby demonstrating that he's at least aware of the possible Cypher camp positions there. Which is one thing a lot of people playing a Decipher don't know what his kit does, don't know where his kit wants to be, that kind of thing. You see here that they do. That Gibby knows where the Cypher is trying to play, what he's trying to do.
After a few rounds of it now, the tricks of the trade have sort of been shown here. Very slow default. Jet's going to try and make something happen here, though. Swifts trying to play this out. Oh, is caught, though, by the recon bolt. And they already knew he was there, so it's not a huge loss.
I got the spike.
And I love the fact that he drops the spike before trying anything crazy here, especially with Jets, because you can actually drop the spike in a place that's, I don't know, inaccessible to your teammates, which is kind of rough. TBH.
TBH. Hearing you use texting slang is so weird. I don't believe you sent a text in your life.
That's
B-side execute
objectively false.
will not work. Aerial's down, something's down, double trap wire. Just paying dividends. B-side's a suicide mission. You should literally never go B without mid control. The only acceptable way to go B is to take mid and then go B.
We're seeing this now. We're just seeing it. I just don't know what to say to you. Go ahead.
Hi, online connection, Paul.
Yes.
Would you like me to wait another second and then decide you're not talking and you can do the same thing and then we can talk at the same time?
Look, you know what? No, see, normally we're used to being able to sit at a desk and look at each other. We have hand signals. We can make eye contact. We can have a conversation. You can interject.
I just look concernedly at you a lot.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I can see you, but you can't see me, TJ, which makes this very difficult.
I would say that's a positive, like of the online casting thing.
Wow, thanks. All right, good night, everybody. We're seeing the push coming in through A now. Sova ult. Not really able to find anything here, though, but it's definitely going to be delaying things. Force them to potentially reconsider this and help burn through some of these brimstone smokes.
Look at how far back on side Critical's playing this. It's kind of curious to me. They do have Diffuse playing a little bit higher up on the ult from the tower. But the actual site hold itself is so far back. They heard that ult, so they insta-smoke window.
Critical is able to trade. But this is still a big here for Swifts, who's just... Uh-oh, he's actually getting flashed out. Beautiful play from Caters. Able to take down... Oh, and Diffuse is just continuing to go off as well. Hey-yo!
That means it's just Pylon left. They never really got side control there. Like, it's hard to diagnose, you know, what went wrong with the anti-retake, because they never really finished the take. Very intelligent smoke execute, knowing there's an AWP smoking off the most obvious re-entry angles. Then they're sweeping site and Critical just gets a kill for no reason. And as soon as that happens, they're distracted, they're full focusing site. That's the moment that the rest of the team re-enters. It's really fun from Orgless, and you see little things like that from teams that understand how to play the enemy's attention really well. Because the players are playing knowing they have to dig a player out of backside, you can push through the smoke at that moment. And even if they're paying attention actually to that smoke and they actually do frag you, congratulations, your player on backside just has increased odds to get a cool peck out. So there's no downside to pushing through the smoke at the same time that they make contact with your player on backside.
But again, this... I'm trying to take down this camera. But still, it does require that level of coordination and communication with your team to be able to... Wait, can you not shoot through that? That glass? That's so cute.
Which one?
The one at garage. They're trying to find this camera. I don't think so.
The roof of garage, you can't shoot through it.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
That you actually can't shoot through. It's technically back off.
Prepare for hellfire!
We are seeing the orbital laser coming down. Actually able to pick up a kill on Caters in vents. This is actually a pretty big deal. This is a potential opening they needed in mid, but again, the Sage is going to be able to slow this down forever. That was not the wall that they wanted. Porto, I think you done goofed a little bit, bud.
It's alright, the team can break it.
I think the thought there was to mail...
Not where you want to put the wall. Corda wanted to put it a little bit further forward so that they could stop the vents push from coming in behind them while they went mid to B.
Correct.
Now they can't do that, and they're just trying to go dry B. They'll have a mid flank a few moments later. Here we go.
Bordeaux and crew pushing in, but there's going to be some pressure in from heaven, but they were actually able to execute the push. They just straight rushed it on in. This is the moment, the potential here for the attackers to make something happen.
Nice.
Here we go, TJ, and maybe actually going for the res here, too, just to fully secure this. It's a 1v4. I'm not necessarily sure that was needed, but still, not a bad situation to be here if you are the side of Rip Original.
5 rounds?
I think that's what you call for. You asked for 5 on attack.
So still possible. This will be their second. The big thing that changed that round was they won the mid fight. And it happened in a couple of phases. One, they noticed that it was, I believe, Caters very far to the left of the vent. Drop an orbital. Unfortunate. You drop an orbital laser on the vent. His only option is to run out of the vent into mid, or to try and go all the way through the vent out to A site, which of course you can't do with an orbital on your head. So it was just a guaranteed kill. There was no way that Caters survived. If I'm him, I do rush out of the vent to try and fight. Just try your luck, why not? But he didn't manage to do that either, so they got a free kill in mid. That opens things up. Then, for some reason, Jungle Main, when that wall goes down that we all memed on because it was objectively bad, Jungle Main sees that and goes, oh, Querio walled, they must not be going mid. Turns around, plays on that intel. He's sitting heaven, very far back, not holding mailroom, watching the B side.
Is that what happened? Oh my! I wondered what happened there. They were just able to take heaven control, no problem. He was looking down onto site as they were rushing through B tons, and then all of a sudden it's like I watched him get shot in the back of the head.
It was because of that weird mid-wall. It was bad and dumb and wrong, and it just won him the round.
Purely an accident. Let the record show. We're seeing the trade now in A long. Okay. Here's the wall in mid. So let's slow things down a bit.
Caters tried to get the kill on Querio like 3 times in a row. Hey, is that a little bit of a one-way? Look at Caters' angle on that.
Hang on. Oh, it is. Oh, it is a bit.
That's very fun. I'm gonna have to try and steal that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a proper one-way, but it gives intel. That's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, a sage wall in mid that you don't hate. We're off to a start here, TJ.
Very few of them.
And I love this angle that Caters is sitting because, of course, the lack of like disruption to your aim when you're sitting on the ropes is actually is actually like non-existent. So that's a fun angle. A more fun angle is just looking at a tower and then instantly able to pick up the kill. Oh, Pylon almost able to find that and needs to get himself out of there. Still a 2v2.
Happens. Caters is already out. Ariel is in heaven with an Odin. So both just drop down and fight, and there it is! The Odin rings out. Ariel, the man continuing to be after my own heart.
TJ, he ran out of ammo. Was not the Odin winning. I guess it does have a bigger clip.
You know what gun will never run out of ammo? That's right, the Odin.
That's right, kids, the Odin, your new weapon for tomorrow. Be sure to pick yourself up one today at your local convenience store.
Use coupon code TJ.
Creator code esportsTj.
Oh, this is
First one gets you 20% off. Second one, 30% off.
You need 2 Odins, kids. Let's be real.
I did that once. You got so mad at me. So.
I did. You were juggling them, and then you literally never shot them, and then you died.
Well, I couldn't have seen that coming. So the problem with that post plant, if you're like, wow, what, that was a super easy post plant, they never got out. They were just playing like the corner of the site, and they played it split as well. So rather than managing to take a 2v2, they took 2 1v1s. And they were weird 1v1s where the defenders, formerly the attackers, had no cover.
I want to keep an eye on Caters here because the first slow orb did go down. Hang on. He's waiting for them to push up here. Or he's going to throw this one out. Got a slowing orb. But he is going to drop out the ult. He gets concussed, though, on his own right. But the whole attacking team is in shambles right now. But maybe a little bit of misplay because they also then got protected by the defensive sage wall. That seemed a little weird.
It doesn't, it's a safety play. Like, Caters has so much more utility he can spend here just to stall this out. He's not really interested in pushing out here. It's just stalling time. Look at how little is left on the clock. We're hitting the 45-second mark. They have no progress. They're all pinned in mid, and they are just penned in. Pigs for the slaughter.
And we just have critical on the flank as well, just to continue to keep the pressure on. There's only one member remaining in the flawless victory. Ariel with the Odin headshot, cleaning it all up. And TJ, it was the stall, it was the stall, it was the stall, and then once the information came through, once the confirmation on the amount of players there in mid, it was a flank, it was picks, it was kills, it was easy.
Yeah. Well, it's what Breach does best, a lot of people I think are sleeping on Breach right now. I think he's
100%.
actually one of the best characters in the game.
I don't think there are a lot of
because
bad agents. I think a lot of them are. I think all of them are good in
Viper.
certain situations. Catherine the Viper.
If you're trying to push mid, and caters Spence's flashbang, Spence's tremor, Spence's ultimate, you're just running up mid into a wave of things you can't push past one after the other, and he can free peek at any time. It's just brutal.
I know it.
Now we see multiple members trying to push in at A long, trying to push in on mid, but the defenders are just holding strong right now. 8 rounds to 2. It looks like it'll probably be 9 rounds to 2 here at the end of all. Again, this is to be expected. This is very much a defender-sided map. EB's able to get a little bit back on this, but it's still a little rough to watch because it's just like I sympathize for the side of Rip Original because I feel like we've all been in this position. It's like I know how I should win this map. We just can't seem to figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah. Oh well, I think we've all been there on Split.
Yeah.
I think we've all had that moment where, okay, the way we win this map is we push out mid, we win the gunfight, we win the round. But if that doesn't happen, how do you win the map? The answer, I think, is more A pressure.
Yes.
I think that's kind of your 1-2 on Split. If you're like, well, we're not winning rounds, go pull around A, force them to commit more resources to it, and then try that again. The Odin reigns supreme, undefeated on the B side.
Never
For more
going to hear the end of
analysis,
this
follow me on
team.
Twitter.
I am
At esportsTj.
at esportsTj. I am never going to hear the end of this. That's fine. 9 rounds to 2. One last.
Undefeated in competitive play. No team has ever lost a tournament match I'm watching while buying an Odin.
Fair enough. And now we have an Ares as well, to boot. Well, we had an Ares. Nice critical. I think he just thinks the skins are fancy. Is he literally leaving himself a gun to run back to pick up what's he... Okay, here we go.
Yes, that's actually the right way to let it go. Earthquake, Rolling Thunder rather, to open up the A side. I really like that. That's kind of what I was calling for a moment ago. You also have these Brimstone smokes, very cleverly done.
Now we have Swifts coming in here on the flank with the ult. Finds one. Instant reset. Sage did not know what hit her. See the Sova ult coming in as well. Diving right underneath that is Swifts. Being saw hitters on the flank, but wasn't quite able to execute on the pickup here. Is now Ariel here with the Odin. Spraying, praying.
Shout out to Ariel, moral support.
Big gun go burr.
Give it burr.
It's so loud. Okay, I need to switch off. This is so loud.
Gibby was playing behind the billboard, and he was trying to flash it and get the peek, and he did get the blind, and he just missed the shots, and it was tragic. So the problem with A control without A having control is you don't have any way to play offside. I talk about this a lot when we're talking about B side on bind, because if you don't have anyone playing long, if you don't have anyone playing hookah, you just lose the map. The hard thing is trying to, okay, how do we play post plant without any control of tower? I would say play tower staircase on the ramp right outside.
Yep.
Also sit below heaven. There's a little cubby, I'm going to call it hell, where you can sit right below heaven. Those are viable post plant positions, and we've never had a moment where I feel like RipOS get kind of established there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like it's been sort of too frenetic for them to really just make that one happen. As Ariel's now trying to push into the other team's spawn. Finds one, not able to get it. Gibby is going to be there. The 4v3, but Gibby's pretty darn busted up.
Because now on defense, we get to see kind of the owners get placed on the other side, and we get to see just how sided this map is, as the initial round's cleaned up by Swifts. This needs to be the start of a roll.
Yes.
This needs to be Orgless just shattered from here on. And that was a great way to start. Orgless tried this really fast A tank, and they had the same problem. They took no tower control, and they were quite easily cleaned out of the back of the site. RipOS have demonstrated they can have a really good CT side. RipOS have demonstrated, or Rip Originals have demonstrated that they can bring back this series and games from the brink on defense side.
Yep.
This needs to be another one of those cases.
And they're intentionally playing it differently here, too. Like, they're stacking more to mid because they're expecting a push in the response to the eco. Also, interesting to note, Swifts did actually buy a Vandal here. He opted for not the full armor buy to go for that.
Got like 8 kills.
Yes.
No, he got like 8 kills. He just had the money.
Oh, what? He got 4 kills that round. I guess that would be enough.
Yeah, switching to his POV. Oh, he did go lighter.
Yeah, he did. Okay. I didn't think I was crazy.
You're crazy, and nobody will ever believe you. He could have afforded it if he didn't buy full smokes. But he didn't.
This is true. But again, opting for the utility here. The rest of the attackers are now going to rotate on over to A. Critical and
I
crew.
think it's viable, depending on how much you expect your opponents to save. If they have classics, you know, 25 HP isn't going to make too much of a difference.
We are seeing Swifts now. Trying to play for A tower. One still back on site. Olo. That's Quirto's getting a kill in mid as well, stopping the cheeky flank coming on in. This is actually a pretty big deal. Critical able to pick up the kill back on site, though, with the classic. The Swifts and crew are, they're just hard pushing on in. They know they got the guns. They know they've got the angle. And this is all down to one final play from Defuse. If there was going to be a...
Oh, okay. I was like, they have nobody watching this, and then Pylon just happened to, like, gaze up at the stars at the right moment. I
Catch 'em
wonder
exactly
whether
as they walk by.
Mercury's in retrograde today.
Oh, I think, you know, Capricorn's is a Virgo
You know
Mars
nothing
thing.
about astronomy.
I do know things about astronomy, less about astrology. Yes.
Ah.
Ah.
Well, you could have just been, like, had a fun astronomy fact.
Fun astronomy fact?
Yeah, give me a fun astronomy fact. Kind of disappointing me here, Paul.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was literally reading a cool article on our space the other day about a super
Wait.
Earth. Anyway, we'll get there another time. Let's back to the action.
Here's the mid push coming through. This is gonna be the first of many from Orgless. Because of that weird round where now it's a yikes round, where you get kind of a half buy out of between the one pistol, especially because that last round went so close. They have lots of members on Spectres.
For you.
And we're now attempting to see the push come in, but Swifts and Quirto are still here. Still looking oh so solid. Critical is pushed up, able to trade out for one, but still not nearly enough damage done. Swifts now. Gonna try and get another one for good measure. Swifts is just terrifying, TJ.
Oh yeah. And he was a little bit quiet this first half. I was kind of, you know, is this carrying over? And the answer is absolutely. He's playing in mid, having a great time. And that was the counter. The counter to, oh no, we're on the yikes round, we're broken by, is, hey, what if we stack 3 mid?
Yep.
And the answer is you win the round.
100%. And now your opponent's forced back under the awkward eco. Where you're like, why are we have to eco so soon? We full buyed and then we goofed.
That's me.
Yep.
I thought the recession was 4 years ago. How come there's another one?
4? What year do you think?
I
Wait,
live
what?
in California.
Ah, fair.
Push will come out. Quick pressure onto the A side.
And we're seeing one sitting back. Swifts is there, getting the quick kills. Make it more. TJ, the round is already over. Blink and you miss it.
A little bit of an anti-kill blender. Always good to see. I always like to run my anti-kill blender rushes down mid. Because, you know, at least if they're going to blend you, they have to fight close range angles, and I think that's a little bit more possible to do something with. But
Yeah,
especially on this
wide.
map, you just don't
Yeah.
do a whole lot.
Well, I think that's part of the design of these sites too. Is like once you get in onto A or B, they're just so open and exposed.
Yeah.
Like mid is
Wide
this.
open.
Yeah, exactly. So mid is
Time
this
to
like
mix things
close
up.
range clown fiesta, and sure, if you can take it, that's one thing. But then you've got to try and contend with all these ridiculous angles. Okay, we're seeing a push
What?
through mid from the defenders. Okay,
It's
a rip
not
bridge.
working at all.
Hello, team.
So the idea behind this damn thing is you can quick rotate to the rest of the map. You can go, okay, we have mid control. We know that they're not A because of that, and we can go here. But it's backfired badly. Now they have no control. Gibby needs to clutch out this round. He's full blind. This is going to be a round for the attackers. This is going to be a round back for... Oh my god, Orgless.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Rip Original just. I don't want to say they threw TJ.
Well, there is merit.
You
in
know,
that
the
kind
Sage
of
just
response.
ran down mid, ran headfirst into sewers. Her wall died behind her, and she got shot in the back of the head.
Right, so there is merit in that kind of mid push, but it needs to be
Coordinated?
executed better. Those are going to be my nice words.
Okay.
If you throw smokes on the Sage Wall, then when it dies, you're not laser beamed to the back of the head. They did have a jet. They did have one smoke that got thrown in addition, but it didn't cover the obvious peak from market into mid. So what you want to be able to do on a round like that is they have to break the ice wall to push through the smoke. The smoke is there to make sure that if they break the ice wall, they can't shoot. And they didn't do that. They just had one of those elements, and the second the ice wall broke, they got shot, which is, again, why ice walls are super bad for defense, because they deny you information, as well as denying the opponent knowledge of where you exactly are. The opponent has a vague idea. You know, you threw that Sage Wall.
Yep.
They know vaguely that you're within X range on the opposite side. They can probably hear you running around as well. Whereas you know literally nothing. It could be a Black Void, there could be nobody there, there could be a full team on the opposite side of that Sage Wall. So I really dislike plays like that, where you assume the Sage Wall is going to protect you.
And fun fact on that note, as I am a dirty Sage main, I actually have started buying slow orbs on defense and wall on offense. That's sort of been on on pistol rounds, and that's sort of been the new thing I've just been trying, and I've definitely had a lot more success with it because there's so many more, weirdness of it sounds, so many more offensive applications with the Sage Wall, I feel, than the slow orbs. Slow orbs are, if played correctly on defense, to all the points you just mentioned, infinitely better than the wall, because it actually does what it's designed to do, which is slow people down and allow you to play safe.
I'd argue it stops them. You don't get slowed by those orbs.
Okay, yeah, it's a
You
lot.
cease to move. You move'n't.
You ain't moving.
Listen here, partner. You ain't going nowhere. Someone is going somewhere in mid, though. Just kidding, he's playing back. He's going to get walled off, actually. Smoke and wall, so he's going to break this wall and not be able to shoot. Funny how that works.
Now we're seeing the push coming on into heaven. That's the recon dart. Try and give a little bit more info, but the Sage is still sitting back just out of line of sight in Quarto. Oh, man, it's sitting on the rail as well. Oh, my goodness. They did look, but they didn't look, TJ.
You don't find anyone mailroom? You don't, the Sage that's been playing there every single round, you don't see her and you're like, well, she probably just went to the A site. She's definitely not playing passive over here. Come on.
That was kind of silly. It was a little silly.
Good response to the A rush. I don't know if they have time for it. Ariel will find one frag, but Polo is still just anchoring this site. 7 seconds. He needs to plant at 4. He just needs to stick it. He has no time. Round's over.
And another round going over to the defenders. Talking is hard. TJ, Rip Original, now only 4 rounds behind Orgless, who, again, had a really solid 10-2 defensive side. Is it the D side and the A side? How are we going to call this? It's not T and CT.
I keep saying CT, and that's your influence, and I don't know why that's your influence, because I'm the Counter-Strike player.
Look, I've been hearing other people, high-level players, calling it CT, just all everything crossing over, and
yeah. Yeah, no, you're completely right. The defender side, well, first of all, it's broken on this map. Second of all, it's been a massive run back here for Orgless. Or against Orgless, rather. Rip Originals has managed to bring this all the way back into winnable range. Briefly touch on the ult economy. Almost every ult for Rip Originals is ready to go. They're at 1 kill or 1 orb on most of their players. Already got the orbital laser up, which could be important on this round.
What? Diffuse? What was that? What was that? Okay, we'll talk about that arrow in a little bit here. As the mid push is continuing on through orbital laser. To be fair, Critical had, I don't know, nowhere to go.
Yeah. Well, that's why you throw it there. This is one of the rare cases where I actually really like the Sage Wall, Tom, man. Because they threw down the Sage Wall as bait. Hey, come interact with our Sage Wall.
Hey.
Definitely not an orbital laser waiting.
That's exactly what it was, TJ. Why would you lie to them?
No, I'm sorry. Look, I'm a bad person.
That's fair. Polo, still playing his ever-present A site. Sitting very far back, though. I actually love this. Okay, well, that was the... Okay. There it is. I love this decision from him. They know they've got 2 onto site. They're going to smoke to set themselves up and allow them to actually push into position. Actually, they don't know both are on site.
This is something we talked about last game. Oh, defuse finds one. Should be over. This was something we talked about in the interview. We said, hey, Polo, what was happening on that A site? And he said, well, I had never played it before we played that game. And I figured out that when I just play it off-site, it goes way better. So he's just playing retake. There's no reason to full engage on that site, and I agree with the assessment. The only cover on the A site itself is Billboard. And if you're playing Billboard, you're super easy to clean out. You can be spammed down, you can be flanked, like anything works.
And now I want to point out something interesting here, TJ. Not only are we forcing Orgless onto an eco, potentially. Forcing them onto an eco. We're also seeing 4 ults available for the side of Rip Original. Like, this is their chance to just continue to keep up the pressure. Another free win here. If they can keep almost all of these guns in tow, they're looking pretty darn good, because their economy's not great, but it could be great with 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah, this is, I mean, they're winning in 2 economies at the same time.
Exactly.
Isn't that powerful? So yeah, this mid push will come through. They're going to be super forced off of them. And the pistol rush that could happen this round, you shouldn't need to invest any money into denying it. Then you get into this next rifle round, full ult economy ready. The characters that are chosen means that there isn't a whole lot of offensive utility for the ultimates available on the board. I'm going to assume this round isn't going to happen, even though Critical just opened things up, eh? Dangerous.
Indeed. Oh, Swift actually gets the transfer, gets the additional kill. What was that? Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's a gamer right there.
Yeah. I mean, the Sage, because she didn't actually die there, was able to get off the res, on the, which is actually kind of funny. And now Pylon is pushing up top there. Here we go. Only 1 member remaining.
As it should be.
Yes.
The eco round is cleaned up.
And
what I was going to say is that the ultimates from the characters available are really difficult to invest offensively. You have the orbital laser, which can be used. It'll probably be used to try and zone out A Heaven. That's the most logical use for it. And from that, you can try and take a site, but you can't really do much more than use that as kind of a giant smoke. The orbital laser says, hey, this area isn't accessible. It doesn't give you kills unless you catch people out and slow them or something. The only other offensive utility ultimate they have is Caters with his Rolling Thunder, but that's not going to be up for a while. So there are very few tools currently available for Orgless to close this game.
I want to make an interesting note that we actually have another rotate. Swift is actually rotating into mid early here and playing in vents, which has traditionally been Cater's role. He's done this a couple times now, but he almost actually was able to pick himself up a kill there.
I really like this because you know kind of instantly whether or not there's presence today. So they're playing it super, super conscientiously. Hey, are they pushing A? No? All right, I'm out. I'm going to go hang out mid. Good luck. Polo. Because the only part of this map that's super hard to play is A to B rotate. If you have to do that or vice versa, then you kind of like can't do it. You need somebody still alive on the side. So just saying, hey, we're going to make sure that rotate can't happen is super good. There's a flat B push.
We do have a couple kills going in, getting between in the res as well, but Cordo is there, going off, picking himself up 4 kills from the post position, almost finding the ace. Come on, Ariel, give it to him, dude. What are you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why straight B pushes don't work. It's a choke point. You just a whole left click. This is an easy game.
Easy game, easy life. We are now 10 to 11. Rip Original looking in a great spot right now.
Incredible.
4 spy maybe here from Orgless?
They got 2 rounds on the attack. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
8 rounds in a row.
All right.
8 rounds in a row for the drunk Canadians.
I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised, TJ. As we are seeing just a Nico here.
Canada, we do that all the time, TJ.
Why was he Southern?
I don't know. That's how you sound to me.
Oh, right there, buddy. You know, just got to go in, find yourself a couple of rounds. It's pretty good. Pretty good, you know. It's a bit late. Have a couple of brewskis and just try and walk away with the quick dubs, you know? Would have been acceptable.
Get away from me.
Would have been acceptable, TJ.
So this is like a weird vibe. They do have a
I
vandal.
know exactly
Jungle
where
main
you
has a
are.
vandal. Everyone else is on like sheriffs or something. So
Yeah.
far, so good now. They found an opener.
They have indeed. I mean, look, Orgless is just... I'm not saying they need a miracle. They just need to be better at shooting their guns. They just need 2 rounds. You know what I mean? They were at 8. You know, they just needed... Or they were at 10. They just needed 3 rounds, TJ. Like, it ain't that hard. It shouldn't be that hard.
Well, it is on this map, and
It
it
is.
is when there are 3 players stacking mid. I think the one thing neither of these teams has executed quite to my satisfaction is amazing. Oh, what is this, Swifts? You madman.
But Gibby is there to say no. They just okay. Look at this. Look at the pile of bodies. Look at the pile of bodies. TJ, look at the pile of bodies. 3 people just ran in and did the exact same thing. It was like watching, you know, the black cat in the Matrix. It was that, but with another one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ops holding corners. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, but that's.
He did good. Gibby
did-
is
he did
reliably an anchor player, and that's what you want. So the one thing neither of these teams have quite done to my satisfaction is an A push. We've seen a lot of A straight pushes. I haven't seen any A pushes that attempt to take tower control. I think I'd be very curious to see how one of those would play out. They do have the ults to make something like that happen. Orbital laser is ready. The silver arrow is ready. Play more aggressive towards tower. Try and push Swifts out of his position. That's my call for Orgless.
I mean, easier said than done, to be fair. Gibby's also holding the angle. Swifts? Dropping back down, using the sound cover that the breach is offering as well. Cypher's playing alone over at B, which means there's the potential for some cheeky play here over on the A side.
Gibby.
Oh.
Gibby just thought about wide peeking tower, and I legitimately would have loved to see it.
He's gonna get
Silver
spotted
arrow.
out though.
Yeah,
That's the
they're
information
locked.
they need.
I wouldn't have used ulti like that, I'm going to be honest. They get nothing for that. Here comes the take, though, and their
I
mid
know
player
exactly
dies. Querzo
where
goes
you
down to Ariel right as the take begins on A.
This is actually huge. Ariel doing something that nobody would have expected now. They've got the neural theft as well to lock down Vents with the slowing orb. They know there's only one member playing over here at B, but Pylon's actually able to pick himself up the kill. They're bleeding members on the way to this push, TJ. They're doing it in such a frantic manner. They've got to get the spike down. That's 2 committed on the back of the orbital laser, and it will pick up at least 1 kill. Jungle Main is here as well to find himself another, and what looked like it was going to be a great hold from Rip Original. Just again, killing members as they crossed, fell apart as finally Orgless was able to set up on the site.
Well, finally they got mid control, and it comes off of their A presence. I've been talking about how they have very unconvincing A presence. Because they threatened properly that round. They had the silver arrow, they invest in ultimate, the players anchor there. You know where Swift was that round? Underneath heaven.
Yes.
Over an A. Not a quick rotate to mid.
Nope.
So it is just Querto there. It is just Querto in mid. And Ariel on the Cypher is able to get the intel, lurk out, find a frag, and then with the neural theft, which is a fantastic ultimate in a situation like that, they know, hey, we can win this round. They do invest quite a few ultimates into it, but that takes them to map point on map 1 of our best of 3 grand final. Orgless now only need 1 more round, God rest their souls, to close out this first map.
Seeing a bit, ooh, wide peek here, B. Just trying to clear up all the traps here. Picking up that ult point. But still, nice little slow play around here, just trying to kill the eyes of the defending Cypher as much as possible. And now they're going to try and look to play through B. Hello here, Critical, able to pick up the first kill onto Swifts, knowing there was going to be that boost there up onto the Sage wall. Finding another one, not able to get the kill, trading out there with Cordo in the mid. This is a 4v3 situation, make it a 3v3. As Polo actually able to pick himself up some kills in not his normal position. Hang on, no, there he is. He's in totally the right spot. I'm getting confused.
Good shock arrow from Diffuse, bouncing it predictably based on where the utility's coming from. Finds a free kill. Now they rotate though, And Gibby gets a free kill of his own. Here's Pylon with the quick rotate. He'll have a pick. He'll have a long-range fight. And Jungle Main comes out on top, leaving Gibby 1v2 for the game.
Make it a 1v1, TJ. The fate rests in the balance right now. The spike did not go down. This is a 1v1. If Sova wins this, that will be map number 1. But Gibby has full ears on this situation.
He saw him. Nicely done. Gibby catches the very tail of Diffuse's cape there. The character model with the cape gives him away.
Yep.
As Diffuse whips around the corner behind the billboard, Gibby sees a little flutter, holds the corner of billboard, and gets a free pick.
10 rounds apiece on defense.
Tied game.
As we come down to round number 13, TJ. We are in our grand finals here for the first official Discord server, VALORANT Scrims Discord tournament.
Dude, is map 1.
Yeah. It's only map 1. And we are now like 45 minutes into this game.
I love it. I know you might be dying.
I'm a little tired. It's okay.
But this will
It's gonna
sustain.
work. I had iced coffee. We're doing it.
Nice.
We're doing it.
Okay, full mid rush. Diffuse is anchoring off-site towards B. Rest of the attacking team, rest of Orgless, are just pressing mid.
Nobody over towards A right now, which means that Polo is going to be not super useful for this opening stage of the game.
Stim beacon here.
Stim beacon going out. You have that for 4 seconds after Critical almost going down there, throwing out the molly, trying to take control of vents as well. Here's the reload. Burns himself a little bit. We'll ignore that.
Worth noting, there are literally 0 ults available this round. This is just a gun round. The Critical has one of the best of those. 3 kills as he works his way up mid. Just finding flag after flag.
And he knows exactly. He's got the sense of where Ariel is going to be. Pylon, I should say, who is going to go down. It is a 4v1 situation. And Critical, when push comes to shove, oh boy, does he shove. Pushing himself up, finding a sick angle, knowing that his opponent had pushed back onto ropes, and then gets 2 clean picks from heaven. The Phantom don't miss.
Polo, the bottom frag. 1v4. And they already have an inkling where he is.
They know he's going to be coming up into heaven. He can't quite hit the shots. Gets one, but cannot find the second. Orgless come back in round number 13. TJ, not going to lie, I was questioning it for a minute. But the confidence they displayed going into that, how much of that was split to, have it so close? I don't know. But still a sick game.
How shattered do you need to be to get 2 rounds in the first half, work it all the way back to the brink, work it all the way back to overtime, and then lose in the overtime round?
I mean, if they weren't a little intoxicated, they're certainly going to be after that one.
Don't get too smashed. It is only map 1 of our grand final.
It is.
What an incredible map 1, though. And I'd like to point out the kill distribution. Previously, both these teams have had, major leads for their top rankers, Critical, Swifts, kind of blasting out ahead. This game, we had Critical going off in that final round, definitely being a presence. Same for Swifts, but they weren't able to build the same sorts of leads because everyone is stepping up for this match. Even the players on the bottom of the scoreboards, Querno, Polo, those people have been kind of struggling this game, had their rounds, had their moments where they were playing very intelligently and very cautiously, and that psychs me headed into the second game of this grand final.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're even really going to jump to a break here. Everybody's in the lobby. I think everybody's still good to go. Maybe they might take a couple of minutes. I obviously need to get us set up for this next round. But yeah, that was just sick. If I'm being fully honest here, TJ. I think the thing that really surprised me the most were the rounds that Orgless did win on the defensive side. It was the rounds that they did actually win. They kind of executed on the thing that I said they sort of needed to, which was they just fell back to gun skill. They just overcame the natural deficit that the attackers had on that map by just finding picks, whether it be aerial and mid with the Cypher pick, or whether it be...
Well, it's worse than that, because it's not just the Critical ran out down mid. The reason Critical was able to run down mid on that round was because there was no utility invested to prevent it. Remember the entire time that run back happened, We had Rip Originals investing, 3 players in mid, tons of aggressive utility use, the walls being thrown down, hyper aggressive, the smokes out, the flashes out right at the start of the round. There was 1 breach charge spent. That was kind of it. We didn't even see a Sage Wall to stall. We didn't see a slow to buy time. All of the utility got saved, maybe because it was overtime, maybe because it was so close, people didn't feel comfortable, wasting their abilities. But the very technique that had gotten Rip Original all that way just vanished. They stopped pushing, they stopped spending that utility to ensure mid control. And then, of course, as we've laid out, mid is the only thing that matters on Split, and the attackers get mid.
Oh, TJ. Yes.
Our players have chosen to take a 5-minute break.
Gotcha.
Originals
All right.
citing that they have smokers and alcoholics, and I'm certainly after that game, the players are, exchanging those 2 hobbies. Our
Yeah.
next map will be Rip Originals with the pick, so they got to choose where we go next.
All right, we're going to hop onto a short break. When we come back, potentially our last game of the night. Thank you all so much for sticking with us through all of this. Be sure to hit a follow on the channel here to catch more awesome VALORANT Esports action. Follow esportsTj over on Twitter. Follow myself over on Twitter at Inverum Gaming if you want to stay up to date with all the esports stuff we're doing, because this is our full-time jobs. Not this specifically, but this specifically.
No, I'm not getting paid.
That's fine. This is what we do for a living, ladies and gents. So we're not on to a short break. When we come back, our finals. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the potential final game of the night for the VALORANT Discord Scrims. One of these days, I'll get it right. Official VALORANT Scrims Discord. Tournament 1. $500 of prizing up on the lines. I'm Inverum. That's TJ. Okay, that's the news. It has a game.
Actually, I've got breaking news.
Oh.
Orgless up 1-0. There's your
Yes.
breaking news.
Yes, absolutely.
Rip Originals on the brink. They did get map pick here. They chose Bind. So we will be going there for map 2 of this grand finals best of 3. And I can't wait, because Bind is one of my favorite maps. Actually, my 2 favorite maps are Haven followed by Bind. So this is perfect for me, because we get Bind, and then if we go to map 3,
We get
it's
Haven.
on the best possible map.
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing too. We got map 1 out of the way. All right, look, we got
no
map
more
1 out
split.
of the way. No more split. But
Well,
Bind's
that's
one of
fun,
these
though.
interesting ones too, where I feel like we've seen so much creativity. Haven, I feel like Haven's one of those fun ones, because I feel like a lot of just snap decisions are what end up finding the winners on Haven. But I feel like on Bind, the preset strats really do shine through.
I think Bind is the map you can most run defaults on, though, because the rotates between sites are so short. So if you're playing, say, super passive over on the B side of the map, and you realize, oh, we just got a pick over on A, you can make that quick rotate happen on Bind. On Haven, rotating from A to C is a huge gulf. Same with Split. A to B, you have to run all the way through sewers, all the way through mid, all the way to B. Whereas Bind, it's super quick as an attacker. So, in contrast to other maps where you need these super elaborate strats to get anything done, Bind is much more improvisational, which is what I like about it. You do need those set strats, and you do definitely see them, but you see them used as elements. That's my favorite part, because you see, okay, we're gonna mix this Sage Wall with this smoke take because of this pick that we got there. And the good teams on Bind have these building blocks of set strats, like you were talking about, and they combine them and build different things out of them each round. And that's really entertaining to watch on attack.
Yeah, and I think the fundamental element comes down to the idea that you can rotate from one site to the other with the information that's given to you. Something you can't really easily do as an attacker on Split. Like you go in and 3 people are pushing B, and one's in garage and stuff, and then one person gets a pick on A, and it's like, oh, wait a second, we can totally pull back and push A now. Cool.
Can I get you some more breaking news?
Yeah.
We did just go into that game and then out of it again. The reason for that was because
he didn't actually spill
Quarto on Rip Originals had spilled beer on his PC.
That was a meme, TJ. He was just there, he forgot to pick.
He was the player who was saying he was smashed earlier. I'm just connecting the dots.
All right. We'll see.
I
We'll
believe
see.
the man when he says he spilled beer.
Fair enough. It is 1-0 now in our grand finals. Of course, as I mentioned before, $500 on the line. First and second will split that pot, and that's a pretty solid. Little opening here for an amateur tournament.
For a beta, like
For a
what?
beta?
We're 2 weeks into the beta now.
It is Riot Games, though. To be fair, like you know, this game's gonna have a pretty darn popular esports scene.
Pretty darn good game. Here's the mid push, just to start things off on the pistol round. Jungle Main says no thank you, tries to play the pixel peak wall, and that's not going to work at all. They just have to cancel that push and try and work something else out. Pulling out of showers as well. I don't know what you do on this round after this.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for sure. Do you see Polo?
Oh, look, there's sign.
Hang on. Still looking to make something happen here. Pylon's also actually rotating into showers. They haven't given up on this A push yet, TJ, but all the members have gone through. With Critical finding the opening kill onto Swifts, they may want to look to reconsider this. Swifts actually pulling off of his jet here. No jets in play. Actually going onto the Brimstone here. So a little bit of adaptation in terms of agent selection here. So that's also not really something we've talked about a whole lot today, is sort of team compositions, quote unquote. Again, traditionally something you would think about more in a MOBA, but also definitely coming into effect right here, as Ariel actually somehow able to find a kill there on site, making this a 4v1 for Orgless. So more like a 4v1, am I right?
For you.
Ha ha! Because they won.
Yes.
Got it. Orgless win that round right off of Jungle Man's initial wall because it cancels the play. And at that point, they've invested so many players on mid. I talk about control a lot. They had no opportunity to push out into B side because they didn't know where the control line was. If the players at B side had pushed super far forward, which I don't think they did, but if they had, then it would be a death trap trying to walk over to B, so their only option was to stick with the A push, which of course went disastrously wrong. Look at this!
The defenders on the awkward push. That was not something I expected to see, TJ.
I love it!
Gibby, give me the kill.
Just get the shotgun, the shorty kill. That will be the round. Fairly clean anti-eco. Ecoing players do get 2 kills. They'll be happy about that. Everyone's wins. Some to take home for everyone.
Yeah, and now we're on the Yikes round, TJ.
Yikers.
Oh,
so
but Caters.
Just
Oh,
joining
hang
us,
on. Wait, are they? Oh, that's not going to be the
They're
Yikes round,
forcing
TJ.
up.
They're forcing up because they lost 2.
Oh no, only the 2 players who died.
Yes. Yes.
So the Yikes round is where the defenders try and stay on their eco and guns because it doesn't make economical sense to buy up. You'll be just as broke, and actually more broke than the attackers if you do that. So they're stuck on Spectres and stuff. The attackers are full Vandals and Phantoms.
Never seen the push. Oh, Critical. He peeked over here at mid. Gas this angle. They've rotated out of showers now. Critical looking to find a pickup, but Gibby is there. This is absolutely huge. This is the opening the attackers needed. Walling off lamp to look to rotate in, smoking out Heaven as well. It's kind of it's a variation on the slice strat on this map, but instead of walling with Sage wall through mid, they opt to hold off the pressure from lamps to look to get the plant in.
Yeah, we saw Orgless run this strat before, and I loved it then. Or sorry, we saw Rip Originals run this strat before, and I loved it then, so I'm happy that it's coming back. Because you wall off Lamprum, and that just makes it the easiest hold in the world. Like, look at Ariel here.
Ooh, and almost finding 2 kills there is Caters, making this a 3v1 situation. 2v1 situation, I should say. As the wall goes down, Swift is able to pick up the kill.
Ariel dies there, but he spams through the ice wall to get a kill. He hears, like, some gunfire on the other side, and he's like, wait, if I just hold left click...
What?
Doing some math here. There's a Sage on the other side of this Sage wall. So that lamp wall push, I really like, because it is way easier to win gunfights quickly as attackers into the site.
Let's have some fun.
As long as they can't hold Heaven, you have very clean lines, and you can kind of isolate them one-on-one on the peak. The problem with playing the corner to peak side boxes from mid as an attacker as you're exposed to lamp room. With that strat, you remove that threat, and you can just play the site as you like.
And we're seeing the anti-boost coming in now towards mid. Jungle main. Actually still finding some fun there with Quirto. As they're looking to get control of Lamp and take this one down. They had the fun all TP, try and get a kill mid hookah strat from the defenders on the eco. Didn't work out quite so well for them. Pylon taking a lot of damage though. And when I say taking a lot of damage, I mean he no longer exists on the server.
What the hell? Oh my god, this is sketchy now. Just Swimps left. Bomb has plenty of time left on it.
They have knowledge of bathrooms. Oh, barely missing that one shot that Swift's up against the world right now in a 2v1, but he does have the gun advantage.
It's too late.
Everybody get thrifty. That shouldn't have happened.
He couldn't peek into that. That's disgusting. And it's why you should always try and take aggressive control on anti-ecos. If you're playing into pistols, the single most important thing you can do is just force fights that you're in control of, because if both players know where the other player is, theoretically the player with the gun versus the player with the pistol, player with the gun wins a fair fight every time. So very counterintuitively to normal attack rounds where you're trying to take as few offensive fights as possible because the defender wins that fight every time, you're trying to take as many fights as possible because you win that fight every time. And the way things get risky on these rounds is you play slow. You bide your time, you let them kind of occupy the map, control where they can stand. That's when things get sketchy.
We've definitely seen a lot of sketchy play over the course of this tournament so far, TJ. Seems like players are willing to try and make something out of nothing. Defuse with grenades into showers. Feels bad, man. And now we just see Pylon having to try and force reset. At least pick up the orb, I guess, but like, this is an awkward default.
Yeah. Tremendously awkward default. It's a good spread play, but now that they've lost their showers player, they have very limited parts of the map to work. A push just won't happen without a rotate, so they can only go V.
And we're hearing the shots coming out. Over on the other side, as Gibby is going to go down. Frantically trying to switch to his camera, but he's already dead. So that's something.
Oh no, we have full A control and they've stopped shooting. I wonder if they're at the B side or not. Thinks critical.
Polo comes to start to shut this one down. Traps activated. They're all running in onto the site right now. Caters getting a couple of kills though. Oh, and his teammate saving his life. Aerial with the 6th shot. Keep the guns alive, my dude.
What a good round, Orgless. On a roll again.
On a roll
now,
again.
Worry for Orgless. They won all but 2 rounds on the defense on their last map and still went to overtime. This is not split, thank the heavens. But they are still playing on defense versus a team that is objectively much better at defense, so Rip Originals could make this dicey, even with a low scoreline on the attack.
Oh, really cute molly there.
Yeah.
You hear the ult coming out from the race as well.
What Critical did there is really fun, because in this game, and this isn't true for Counter-Strike where Molotovs don't interact well with smokes, but in this game, you can Molotov underneath the smoke and do damage, and people don't know where they're getting damaged from.
I know exactly where.
And that, of course, is super important as Swiss and crew are trying to push in. Do have the neural theft to make this just a little bit easier. Plant's going down for long, but there is a long flank coming on through from Critical. He's going to try and go on a big flank here all the way around. He's got the Phantom. Can he pick himself up some kills? Oh, this is huge, TJ. They know he's coming.
They know exactly where he is. And so the attackers managed to push out Rip Originals, find a free kill. Critical isn't one of those free kills. Man's a monster.
Somehow, in a situation where he should never win,
oh dear,
they get it done. Arrows in 1v1. Critical. He went all the way back around. He pushed through hookah. TJ, this might have just not enough time.
Oh, so he's got Querto. Guarantee. Does he have time? I think he does.
Oh,
no,
he does.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
That is tragic. The orbital laser was perfect. Somebody backside there actually physically cannot escape. Even knife out. The only viable escape route would have been running at hookah, knife out, and he would have died if he did that.
TJ, what if he could have positioned it so that it didn't catch the spike in it? It would have
been an
forced
escape, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but as you mentioned, he would have had to run right out of it, straight into him, positioned at hookah.
I didn't give you zone it back that much.
Maybe, I don't know. You have to
then you
hope.
can
You have to
play
hope that the
pillar on
opponent.
site,
You have to
right?
hope that the opponent panics, pulls out the knife, tries to push out, and then at that point you hope you can get the shot in and do it. I am nitpicking. That was still a great play, and it literally came down to a matter of seconds.
Very intelligently played.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately for the Critical and Orgless, they can't pull it out. And that actually does bring Rip Originals to the same scoreline they brought Map 1 to overtime with on the attack.
So they're already starting things off way better than we saw last time around. Bit of a sort of cobbled together buy here for them, though. One Bulldog coming in from Quirdo. Let's see what Original can do. Oh my goodness, here comes the full push. Diffuse is getting taken down. Pylon is there. We'll see where the rest of the push comes in. Critical's in a really nice spot up here. As we are seeing the ult come in from bathrooms. Wall is splitting this up right now. And Critical, too many opponents in front of him. He couldn't make a decision.
Perfectly timed. I've been talking about this all day. The secret to clean pushes on sites where you can't coordinate crossfires is you have to coordinate the timing of the peak. Because if your attackers can't see each other, somebody defending can't cover both angles at the same time. So their choices, if you perfectly sync up your attack timings, are either A, full super far back and play retag, which is the right answer, or pick one and shoot. And that is, the latter is what happened. A couple of kills come through for the defenders, but it's going to be a third round for Rip Originals.
I mean, TJ, I'm liking what I'm seeing from them so far. Again, considering the circumstances that they sort of find themselves in, or put themselves in terms of their current game state, as it were.
You mean being drunk Canadians who've been awake for 30 hours? Or
Yeah. It's like 36 hours at this point, so, you know, good times.
Right.
Right.
I thought the being awake for 30 hours thing is a little bit
That's on you, bro.
them.
Yeah.
You know?
I do know.
You knew you had a tournament. Come on.
That goes there.
Orgless putting on a strong showing at the beginning. Now showing repeated weakness to these synchronized attacks. It's nothing special. Not a ton of like super set strats. I talked about this in the beginning. You're seeing just elements of good teamwork.
Yeah.
Syncing up the push appropriately, covering all the angles. The shower player checking their close right, while the mid players know they just need to clear lamp room at all costs. That kind of stuff is what makes ATEX work.
I mean, and again, we know they don't have set strats. They've told us that they don't have set strats. Again, are they sandbagging a little bit in the interviews? Yeah, of course. But it's cute little things like, you know, you see Ariel run all the way over to the A site, throw one trap, just run all the way back to B, just be like, hey, maybe there's a cipher here at A. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that that's just like, wait, what? What are you doing? What's happening here?
You have to be a little bit tipsy to think up plays like that.
If I'm being honest, yes. As we see the push now coming into hookah.
It's the alcohol that makes them creative.
I mean, man,
It's a performance-enhancing drug.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Did you see Quirdo giving
Ariel
away the
here on
position?
site to receive just got information. He knows how many people are about to push him.
Oh, and it's a whole lot. Ariel, though, able to get 2 kills of his own. Polo trying to come
Nicely
around.
done.
We're going to go for an instant res here. As the Rolling Thunder is coming on through. They do have eyes on this one, though. Quirdo trying to pick himself up the kill, but he's walked up into the site, and Critical is then able to rip everybody apart. Swift trying to shut him down, though, in response. But that is still going to be the defenders holding strong.
Very well done on site. And that's Ariel. I talked about it earlier. Rule of thumb, you're a site defender, you get 2 kills. You're a gamer who deserves to be thanked by his team.
Oh, yeah.
Ariel finds the double spray down. It's not on the players he's choked up inside hookah, which I imagine is what he thought. It's on a wild Spectre spray control, connecting 2 players rushing long. And if he had more bullets, he actually probably, frankly, would have gotten another kill.
30 in the clip, man. Feels bad.
Wow.
As now we see, again, just default. I think Rip Original sort of just finding their
Look at
stride
Critical.
here.
Look at Critical trying to boost here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been doing this a couple different times now.
Does that work? I don't think it... Oh.
Oh. He's gotten up there
I
once
think
before.
it's possible to gimmick it. Oh. Oh, no.
I mean, he takes the damage and then gets himself out. That's fine.
He's got healing.
Exactly. Sage. Strong agent, gotta say. Stim Beacon's actually being utilized here. which makes me giggle every time.
No, it isn't. What?
What? 4 seconds, how do you walk out of it, bro? That's value. So part of me almost wonders...
What was the point of this tip? It's a useless ability.
TJ, let it happen. Let it just...
Okay.
Just...
All right.
All right.
So, okay. You're right.
Okay. Oh.
Glad he used the stim beacon.
Yep, so glad. So glad. I mean, it wasn't within the 4 seconds, TJ, obviously. Gosh.
You would have gotten that kill if you'd had 10% higher rate of fire on his death.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
okay, well that's
What a
the
good
choke of
strike.
death. I too enjoy running headfirst into a blender.
Really?
Yeah. What? Obviously.
Huh.
Yeah, one on top of truck,
6-3.
one back in sight. I mean, that's just easy peasies. Wow, I like how...
pulling out.
Okay.
And it's the crossfire. That is the knowledge. Okay, we killed the player's showers. Logically, the only place they're gonna be is mid. They play it super back. They weren't actually really covering showers, but anyone coming out of showers would have had to make enough noise they could have adjusted. And they just cover the one angle with 2-3 players. And with no utility to press it, that round's just over the second they decide, we'll stick to the A push.
Oh, he gets the
Critical,
boost.
I want to see this work.
Same, brah. Oh. Okay, right on corner. Gets it. Okay, hold on.
I don't think it's possible.
I think he's done it before.
Oh!
Oh. Open up the skies. Let's go. Polo is going to get absolutely melted. Heard you're a fan of Death Stars. My goodness. That's the Neuro Theft as well. Pushing back in onto site, but the attackers still have quite a numbers advantage in a 3v1 situation. And there's the final kill to get it done. So after all the boosts in the world, TJ, after the ults, after the planning, the preparation, it just comes to Rashuka. There we go.
The hookah rush normally isn't super effective because the Cypher Trap can still people out for so long. Full Cypher Kit, really effective at stopping people. But actually the boost kind of lost in the round because there was no pressure from A. Normally if you go that long without anyone like poking out A, your team comms are, hey, I think they're B, and you start kind of floating a rotate over there so that when the Cypher's slowing people down, you can benefit from that time. But their players were so far away, bugging about with a boost by showers, that they didn't have that extra information. Luckily, Diffuse will remedy that. He says, I gotta play aggressive, eh? It's very far forward.
Does indeed, and Critical, too, looking to pick himself up some frags. Critical has just been one of these really consistent factors here. I mean, every single member of Orgless has had their standout, stand-up moments, but I feel like Critical has just been doing it like 20% more than the next guy. And it shows, like he's 12 kills, 12 and 6 right now, 2 KDA.
Up. I would like to make an announcement. As of 3, 2, 1, we have been streaming for 10 hours. Back over to you, Paul.
Oh my goodness, that is many hours. I don't think I've casted for 10 straight hours in a very long time, if I'm being fully honest. But hey, at least it's Valorant, we're having fun.
Teleporter wall from Querto. They
Yeah.
have this night tech. They have time to do it, but it's into the Cypher Blender.
Oh, and the slowing orb from Jungle Main was so sick because now, of course, they've changed it. You cannot jump out of it. But Pylon is a wounded animal backed into the corner. He was a wounded animal, and there's still his corner.
So, Orgless making this defense look good, but you're almost at that kind of 5-round counter here for the attackers. So, Rip Originals, knowing they get a defense boost, knowing this is still a defense-sided map.
Yep.
This isn't looking too bad.
Still getting 4 rounds is pretty solid here. Again, they have to eco this time,
I do
so
want to see them
that's
get
fine.
5. I do want to see them win this one before I like call it in their face or anything crazy.
For Rip Original,
I think they're
dude,
alive. That's as far as I go.
dude, they have like this is a scrappy 4-spy, so this will be interesting for them.
Yeah.
I hate
Well,
how the
it
guns
is
don't
one
populate for that team. Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
they
Gathering
get the
Shadow.
kill. Jungle Maid, he survives on 10 HP, running out of lamps. Critical finds the kill and they've won the round.
Oh my goodness, we saw the TP up in heaven doing absolutely nothing, letting it finish before picking up the kill. Gibby, though, is still surviving through all of this. Ariel's trying to survive on too, but Gibby living, I was going to say with a scrap of HP, with the heal coming on through. Oh, the Rolling Thunder does absolutely nothing as Diffuse finishes this one up 8-4, and that's the half.
Oh my god. really wanted that to work. Orbital laser Lamprum, but the orbital laser too far forward, too close to the attacker side. So the defender can run all the way through the windy maze out of Lamprum on the opposite side from the side they would have to push in order to peek them. And I don't think they expected that to work out the way it did. It only works out that way if you have heavy armor. And you're a Sage, you can heal up from 10 HP. So shout out to the confidence of Jungle Mate, saying, I can live this.
I mean, look, confidence of a Sage player who's like, I got heal on CD, it's fine. We're gonna do it. There's something to be said for that.
All right, here we go. Here's the half switch. Here is where you need to start making things happen if you are Rip Originals. Now on the defense, they need to shut this game down to bring us to game 3.
Critical and crew pushing on into Hookah. Or actually backing... Wait, hang on a second.
This is fun.
Diffuse? What is this bait right now? What are we witnessing? Oh, that's a Sage wall.
Diffuse is just hanging around here. He's going to throw the grenades over. That's going to make a lot of noise. While he's doing that, the rest of the team has shifted over with the bomb to A. And it's worked. There are 3 defending players over on B. Orgless have this player advantage on A side.
And this is giving such a huge opportunity for the remaining members of Orgless to push in and get this plant down.
Bomb down.
They do get the spike in play. This is massive. Now they need to watch Lamp. These only have about 6 more seconds. No, I was going to say, well, never mind. They've got no more time on these smokes. They dropped them before they did enter on in. The boom bodies there, giving a little bit of information to Caters, who's not able to pick up Pylon there. He's finally going to go down. The Critical's in a terrible position. He's got the classic, and he's got the shot. Oh my goodness, TJ. Critical.
Saves the round. Lone man. But Swips is back with the trade. The hero of the game so far. He's got the smoke. I don't believe he does anything other than stick this. And what do? Ariel spams in. He can see his legs, but he can't find the shot. He sees feet, Paul.
I see his feet, I peeks. I don't know. What do you want from me?
Wow, that kind of worked pretty well. I was more going in a send me your feet kind of thing.
No, don't do that.
No, we're not going. All right, I'm going in that direction.
Yeah. What is that? Trap wire. Okay. Peter weird, TJ. Moving on. All right.
Ariel, no, that's a really weird trap wire for Ariel to throw.
Yeah, it is.
I think he missed. I think he was trying to throw it inside. Because there's a fairly standard trap wire you throw in market if you're worried about the flank. And they're going pretty hard B, so it's the same thing to be worried about. But the trap wire they just threw is inferior in almost every way, so I don't know why you would do that.
I'm seeing the push, trying to push through mid-market. Oh, Bolo's just going down. SMG's doing their work. We're actually going to have some cheeky flanks coming in here. Gibby is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and keeping 4 members alive on the anti-eco. Pretty darn solid.
Okay. Is this it? Is this our $500 final? A slow and steady grind from Orgless on map 2?
Oh, man. I don't want to say that, but at the same time, they're looking pretty solid. There is going to be a full buy coming out from Rip Original, and this is a... No, this isn't it, TJ. This is a very scattered half buy now from Orgless.
We're into the yikes round.
Yep.
But Rip Original don't have enough economy, making it, I think, even like a double yikes round. Because they don't even have a firm advantage. Like, look at how much money they have left over.
I mean, 0?
Some of them, I bet, don't have full utility.
This is 600. Kind of this is 600 creds, TJ.
Yeah. It's gonna work against you. Yeah, like Cuerdo actually doesn't have his Sage slug. That kind of thing.
Which is pretty darn huge. But we're seeing Cuerdo not needing slows when you have bullets, apparently. Able to pick up 1 kill here. But still, the push is going in onto the site from B-Long. Diffuse and crew are here. They've got the trap, forcing over the rotation. They might do it. Oh, they're not going to do a cheeky TP? Hang on. I wouldn't hate a cheeky TP, TJ. So they're not looking to try and push in here on the B site. No, they are going to commit to this, even with members already rotating through. Can they find the angle? No blind shot into the back there. These smokes maybe actually hurting this Raze a little bit here. Running into the back. Finds 1 kill, though. Heading on into Elbow with the Spectre. They're going to have some knowledge that this is here. And with that play, Diffuse gets the kills. Picks themselves up. Another round.
They have so much control on Orgless. I absolutely love that. They press so aggressively before they even get close to throwing down the spike. Take their time. make sure they have safe control of the map before they take any risks, you know, threatening the sides, pushing into the back. They make absolutely sure they have full control of elbow, that when the push comes through from mid, it's going to be met with a raise ulti, that kind of thing. Really, really impressive stuff from Orgless.
I mean, Orgless is just looking so clean. But and especially because of the decisions that Rip Original is making. And again, in their state, it's like, you know, 2 in the morning. But the option to just continue to try and force buy here. I mean, I get it. I get that it's what you have to do, but they need a bit of a miracle here.
11-4. If you don't force buy here, you're playing match point for the rest of the game. So I understand why you force buy. But you need to make it happen. All Spectres for Orgless or for Rip Original to prevent match point, and already Polo tries to press in to contest Showers. Goes down to a double spray. Gibby with a nice flash does find an opening. There's 1 kill only to him though on the A side.
Not quite able to get the spray transfers. The rest of the attackers are moving on in. Though they've spoken too soon. We're going for the TP bait.
TPs!
Back into Hookah. Wait, what is the Cypher doing? He just rotated A. Did he not hear it? What is going on? There's 1 Sage on this site. Quirdo is trying to make it happen, but he is going to get taken out near instantly. No, they're going to go for the TP flank in through Hookah. They don't have the spike though, TJ. This is actually kind of a big deal. But Pylon goes down, making this a 3v1.
Very sloppy rotate from Pylon. Critical just holds the corner. Easiest Hookah hold of his life. And there it is. Tournament point for Orgless. 1 round away from the lion's share of that $500 prize pool.
Orgless has just looked too clean. The break they had after getting themselves to the winner's bracket, finding the ability to study their opponents and the consistent play, having an entry fragger, having decent rotations, but more importantly, just playing calm, trusting in their shots, trusting in their communications, and having a great default.
This default spread across the map again, finding them openings time and time again. The only place that's been a little bit weak is in mid, where there's 2 players getting committed really aggressively by this defending kind of set. 2-3 split that Rip Original are playing.
And Swift's actually is able to push out there in the mid. I mean, that's huge. That's the raise battle that, you know, needed to be won, or should have been won by the side, by Rip Original here, even just given the gun advantage. And we're going to see the rotation come back through now. Need to be a little bit cautious, though, not to overextend if you're Swift and crew. He wasn't able to pick up the gun. You know he was trying to maybe move in there. Oh, they just res and bring it back.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
So
Swift does have orbital laser. I want to call that out. Critical as well. So we have 2 orbital lasers, presumably willing to be spent this round, as it's a 5v5 with 45 seconds left. Low timers, high player counts, lots of ults sure to be spent. Here comes the B push. Querto playing the sign.
Pushing in through Hookah, already taking a lot of damage, and here comes the ult, forcing them into the site. Jungle Main getting absolutely shredded. And that's the neural theft off the back of this. This is a 5v2 situation, picking up 1 kill onto Swift as well, making it 2 out of Hookah. But this is still a disastrous situation.
Surely not critical. You don't do it right? No. He thinks about the orbital laser, thinks better of it. Sky Smoke's in for an attempted entry with 10 seconds left. They just need to blind rush the site. And without finding anything, they will think better of even that. They have rounds to burn. Committing the ulti.
Oh, man.
Playing passive on the site. Rip Original stay alive. They keep their tournament dreams going for 1 more round.
It gives them a chance to buy. And it gives them a chance to buy, TJ. Which is pretty darn huge.
We've seen their CT side be good. We've seen their defense be solid. That round, it was their mid-pressure. You could see the duel I highlighted. They play 2 players very, very aggressively, Lamprum and near Lamprum, the right side. And they push that every round. They play super aggressive in that mid, and it pays off there. This round, they need to be a little bit careful about that, because you can see the response diffuse playing super procced up here with Jungle Main. They're just looking for someone to get a little bit too thirsty. You also have Showers pushed simultaneous. This is going to be a timed A execute for the game, for the tournament.
And no Sage at A. I want to make a note of that here. Sage is over at B right now. She's now only starting to rotate. But this is still taking some time, forcing Omen back up off the box. Great utilization of the breach utility. As now Swift is just trying to hold into mid. Sage is going to be here, going to have the heals, but gets wall banged through with the Odin to start things off. Here comes the Rolling Thunder pushing on out of Showers as well. Jungle Main able to pick up a couple of kills, and this looks like it's going to be it,
What a
TJ.
clean take! I wouldn't have it ended any other way. Absolutely beautiful. Pylon for one frag. A fool's errand, 1v4 off one of the cleanest A takes I've ever seen. Full ult economy invested. And Pylon needs to make it happen.
And make it happen. He cannot, TJ. That is going to be it. And that is going to be GG. Victory going over to the side of Orgless. Don't let the defeat flashing on your screen fool you. It was a victory for them in 2-0 fashion after 10 hours of gameplay. All the way through the upper bracket. They had the easiest day of anybody, TJ. Well, they only had like 5 games. No problem.
Yeah. No, that was really, really fun to watch all tournament long, but Orgless earned every single clean round they got.
Yeah.
That was just really, really well played. Tell you what, do you think, and we can try this, if you just fly your interview with lower third, can we just hop into the Orgless voice comms?
We can
I
try.
can do it. I can drag you in.
No, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
All right, drop
Let's
into
rock.
a random channel. I'll give them a second of warning. Does that sound good?
Okay, we're gonna lose your camera though, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh! There we go. Hello. We're just gonna drop that. All right. We're waiting. Oh, I'm not in. I need to join the. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here, guys. TJ didn't warn me about this at all. Where are they? Orgless.
Hold up, please keep the camera on him.
I made it.
Hey,
What's up, team?
Paul, you're here.
Yes.
All right, Orgless, congratulations. Let me start there. You guys have won the $500 open tourney. How do you guys feel? Can I get a general vibe from the team simultaneously?
Tired.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah,
I guess
tired.
tired.
You did beat
that wall bang.
you did beat the drunk Canadians.
They were vibing.
They were vibing, especially on that first map. They brought it all the way to overtime. How did you guys keep your heads in the game when it got that sketchy?
I think we just knew it was like it's a really CT sided map, so we just had to piece around a couple rounds.
We had to slow it down, especially like we were trying to like just rush the site, and that was our problem. And we finally slowed it down and started working it.
Were you worried that was going to happen again when you swapped to CT side in this one?
No,
No, not
not
at
really.
all.
There's a puppy.
I think Bine's a lot more balanced. Bine has more like outplay potential, where like as in Split is just so CT sided.
Oh my god, that dog's adorable.
Okay, we gotta see the puppy. Hang on.
Can
Puppy's
you
on screen.
engineer that? All
Oh,
right.
I can
Look at the
absolutely do that.
puppy.
Look
Yeah,
at the
dude.
puppy. Oh, he's so
It's
cute.
now, what
This is our
time is it for
mascot.
you? What time is it for you and your mascot counters?
2:14.
Oh my
In the
goodness.
Oh dear.
114.
In the AM.
Oh my.
Worth it.
Oh, it's worth.
Yeah, worth it. I think.
Of course.
I had to weigh it out. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening. Get some sleep.
Yeah,
Please get
Congratulations.
some sleep. Congrats.
Thank you for casting.
Yeah, that was good casting.
Of
Yeah,
course.
dude,
Thank,
man.
thank you very much for playing. It was a lot of fun.
Bye, good.
All right. TJ and I are gonna hop back in a call. All right. He's here. He's here. Voice. Full screen. Action.
Oh my God, Dicey live production. That was a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get to cast that. Here are how many sticky notes I built up over the course of that tournament.
They're
Fun
being
fact.
chroma keyed out, but I believe you.
Oh, hey, how are you not chroma keying out my green jacket on
Oh, is
my
that what
green?
color that is?
Yeah.
That's a
Is it all green?
khaki. That's a khaki.
Right.
No, you're doing great. Closing
We've now
thoughts,
been
TJ.
live for 10 hours and 16 minutes, and I'd like to say that was some of the highest level Valorant I've seen so far. One of the most obvious things from that tournament was that many of these teams formed in Valorant by people who, foremost right now, are playing Valorant. Some of the earlier games I watched, I was like, wow, there's a Counter-Strike team. They're playing like a Counter-Strike team. Or, wow, there's an Overwatch team. They're playing like an Overwatch team. And I was seeing people start to play like Valorant teams. And that's very cool.
That is so
Because
cool.
the fascinating, distinct playstyle that's coming out of that is truly unique.
I could not agree more. I feel like there's a lot of the fundamental base mechanics that are transferring over from these other games. The idea of ult economy and the idea of, playing in twos and having an entry fragger and utilizing your utility on site. And a lot of the CS mechanics, even just from the base, shooting and like not moving and shooting, simple things. Like it's those fundamental mechanics everyone's carrying over. Then they're getting refined. You know what I mean? Every single game that I see more, even the scrims we casted last week versus this, is night and day. Even though they're some of the same players that we cast today, I would never know. They are so much different. It seems like every single game people are learning. We're sort of at the start of this exponential curve, and we're just starting to ramp right up it right now because the knowledge base is increasing at a fantastically high level.
Hey, Paul, by the way, speaking of knowledge base and exponential curves, I'm really happy with our cast today. I think we killed it, especially for something thrown together at the last minute and it went 10 hours.
Yeah.
I think that went really well, and I'd just like to thank everyone who came out and watched, because obviously we're relatively experienced casters, but nobody has casted a ton of Valorant, and we came into this with a very different idea, I think, for how to cast Valorant from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are kind of going for the style that's in vogue in Counter-Strike, where you have a kind of blendy chat over the round. We very distinctly went, hey, TJ's going to talk about the big brain things, Paul's going to shout a lot. And I think we got to relax into that over the course of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure out what worked, what didn't work. This was a fantastic learning experience. And I feel like a much better Valorant caster at the heel end of it.
I think the thing I'm most excited for is to not have to worry about observing while I'm casting, and the ability for me to just fully listen to you, TJ, because you're making so many of these great points, and I want to follow up on them more, but it's tough when I'm trying to click the right faces. I don't mean click the right faces.
Please, I'm hiding from your scorn under the fact that you can't pay attention to my color points, so it is perfect.
Excellent. It's excellent. But yes, thank you all so much. There's like 100 of you hanging out for most of the night, watching the streams. Just fantastic. Of course, if you're not in the Discord, if you see this and you say, I want to get involved, go over to the Discord, exclamation point Discord in the chat. And if you want to watch the VODs, yes, you can't do it on the Twitch channel, but that's okay because they're going to be up on YouTube. I'm sure TJ will have those up for you tomorrow. Click the link down below. Be sure to hit subscribe. TJ's putting up a lot of cool content around Valorant right now.
I said like tonight, but
that was before it was 11:18 p.m.
Tomorrow. I'll get them out by tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, I am going to be casting a different Valorant tournament tomorrow. I don't quite know where that's going to be off the top of my head, but if you follow me on Twitter, I'll tweet about it.
Yeah, there you go. They said you work in a camp.
They
should take a day off, TJ.
No.
Okay.
Gotta cast more Valorant.
I'm going to take a day off. All right. From me, Inverum, at Inverum Gaming on Twitter, I basically exclusively tweet about esports. I'm the host of ESL North America. Our ESL Mobile Open program's coming up soon. If you want to check out a totally different side of esports in the world of mobile esports, which if you've ever followed anything in Asia, you know is freaking huge. And see what we're doing in NA for that. Of course, also cast League of Legends for the ESL Collegiate when that will hopefully come back when COVID is not a thing or less of a thing. And yeah, I just talk about video games all the time. So that's it. Over at Inverum Gaming on Twitter, at twitch.tv/Inverum. I'll occasionally stream more. I don't really. CJ, look at you streaming. I don't really stream.
You sometimes you do Gears of War, and I like those because it's just you being like, these people are such bad gamers, and flexing on them for like 2 hours.
I was ranked 1 in Gears like the day before Valorant came out, and then Valorant came out, and I was like, lol, buy Gears, you're a bad game.
That, and you tried to work out how the Gears of War rating system works, where you're like, but I got 15 kills this game, and it gave me -3 ELO points. And then I lost this game, but I got 60 ELO points.
It's all right, team. We're saying goodnight. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you for the next one. Peace out.